How we doing, everyone? Sam here, United People's TV, with the UEFA Champions League draw, live reaction, whatever you want to call it. The pots are there. Well, actually, they're not there. They're kind of down there. The groups are about to be drawn. Manchester United, who are we going to face in the UEFA Champions League this year? I'm having a look at the groups here. Or not the groups, the pots that we could potentially get. They're tasty. We're in pot 2. Pot 1, obviously you've got the champions from around the leagues in Europe. You've also got Manchester United in pot 2. Let me run through the pots for you. In pot 1, we're going to draw one of these teams. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, not Chelsea, because obviously we can't play a domestic rival until, I think, the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Juventus, Benfica, Monaco, Spartak Moscow and Shakhtar Donetsk. Some of them there, long trips. Some of them there, very tough games. But arguably, looking at this, arguably pot 2 is better than pot 1. In here you've got Barcelona, you've got Athletico Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain with Neymar now. You've got Borussia Dortmund, Sevilla, Man City, Porto and Manchester United. As I said, pot 2 potentially on paper, it's potentially harder than pot 1. Then we've got pot 3, we've got Napoli, very tough game, Tottenham, Basel, Olympiacos and Anderlecht, Liverpool, Roma and Besiktas. And then pot 4, Celtic, Cska Moscow, Sporting Lisbon, Apoel, Feyenoord, Maribor, Karabag and Leipzig. Just in time for Totti to say Spartak Moscow. That's an interesting draw. Who would like to play Spartak Moscow? Obviously Man United have got a bit of a history in the Champions League as far as Moscow is concerned. 2007-8 final against Chelsea. That happened in Moscow. Wouldn't fancy this trip though, because what you want to try and avoid in these games is long trips, and that'll be a very long trip. Thank you all for everyone watching. Make sure you get your comments in now. Who do you think Man United are going to draw from pot 1, pot 3 and pot 4? What would be your ideal group? What would be your worst case scenario as well? Let me know in the comments below and I'll do as many shout outs as I can throughout the whole draw. Now, Spartak Moscow, they've been drawn into Group E. That's exciting, very exciting. One thing about this draw, it's going to take quite a long time. So I hope you've all got comfortable seat, good internet. I've finally got good internet now. I'm on Wi-Fi. None of this bollocks mobile data around Europe. Certainly couldn't do this around Europe. I'm doing it here today. What pot? I'd like us to see us versus Atletico to prove a point against Griezmann, says Zach. Good point there. Griezmann, he would be buzzing to play us if that's the case. But then you're looking at all the other teams that we could get. It's just football's a bit romantic like that. We could get Real Madrid after everything that's gone on between Man United and Real Madrid during the summer with Morata, with David De Gea. That would be an amazing draw from a neutral perspective. For me, Real Madrid are the one team I want to avoid from pot 1. I think if I'm looking at the rest of the teams, Bayern Munich, yes, Bayern Munich would obviously be very, very difficult, and so would Juventus, but they'd be ties I would thrive on and enjoy as a Manchester United player in the group stage, because playing a tough team like that, it gets you prepared for the knockout round. And let's not forget 1999, our most famous year in Europe. We played Barcelona and Bayern Munich at the group stage in that competition. Then we played Juventus in the knockout stages. We played Bayern Munich in the final. We played all the tough teams. And Man United are going to get a tough team unless we get very, very lucky and we get Benfica. And technically Benfica is still a tough team, but they're not as tough as the other ones like Juventus or Bayern Munich. It's really a few more of your comments coming out here. What time is it in England now? It is 5:20 at the moment. Let me know, are you nervous about this draw? Are you excited to see who Manchester United get? We've got an update here. We've got Chelsea have been drawn into pot C. At this stage, it's just teams are going to get moved around into different pots. So that means that Manchester United cannot be drawn in pot C because, as I said, you cannot play a domestic rival at this stage of the competition. Now, make sure anybody who's watching, make sure you share, make sure you like, subscribe and comment. Make sure you get involved. Send your questions in. I'll answer as many as I can. Where are you watching it from? I'll give you a few shout outs throughout the show as well. Benfica lost like 4 of their best players, says Omar Jerry. I'm not really sure who Benfica sold this summer because I don't really care that much about Benfica's transfers. But Manchester United obviously signed Victor Lindelof. I think he was from Benfica. So he would probably love that draw to go back to Benfica. It would be romantic for him. I think in any single tie, there's probably going to be a romantic story behind it. and that would certainly be that one from that one. You got Bayern Munich now been drawn. Oh, Benfica in pot A. Bayern Munich are next. Let's have a look who they get. The one thing about the Champions League, as glamorous as it is, watching the whole draw is like pulling teeth. They can't ever seem to open the balls. No matter, and Andrei Shevchenko is trying to open the balls now and see if he's actually any good. For some reason, they seem to struggle with the balls. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's because they're hot or cold, but I'm not saying that anything is fixed in the Champions League. I'm probably going to take that back, actually. It's probably quite libelous. Let's move on. Andrei Shevchenko, who is he drawing here? Is B. So that means Bayern Munich are in B. This is actually updating earlier than I am, but I'll still keep talking anyway. Watching from Ireland, says Crafty Shane. As I said, where are you guys and girls watching this from? Let me know in the comments below, and please get involved. It's great to hear your comments and your views on anything throughout the whole show. Watching from Kenya, says Brian Nwandu. How you doing, buddy? Lots of love from Kenya. Ibra will help us a lot in the UEFA Champions League, says Alex Patrick. I mean, Ibra's back. About an hour before this happened, it was announced that he has re-signed a one-year contract, taking Wayne Rooney's number. He will be the number 10 at Manchester United next season. And his experience will certainly prove vital. He's never won the Champions League, but he's got pedigree at the top level and has done for over a decade. So he will probably help us when we get to the tough stages. Monaco have been drawn into Group G. Who would like to play Monaco? Obviously, they've been torn apart during the summer transfer window. They've lost Bernardo Silva to Manchester City. They've lost Timu Bakayoko to Chelsea. It looks like Kylian Mbappe might be joining PSG. Fabinho might be joining PSG. They're getting torn to shreds. And it was always potentially going to happen. It's quite sad to see. But when clubs are coming with you with a ridiculous amount of money, sometimes you've got to accept it. What channel is it on, says Henry Walker. It's live on UEFA.com, Henry, if you want to watch the pot. It's being drawn. But you should probably just watch me talk about the pots. It's far more interesting. Sean O'Dwyer's Irish as well. How you doing, buddy? 7 p.m. in Kenya, says Jara. Jamaica tuned in. Alvin, hey, how you doing, buddy? K Singh watching from the good old Peacock pub in Gravesend, Kent, the Garden of Eden. Very nice. Dave watching from Manchester. And Aaron watching from India. Lots and lots of you watching now. Who have we got? Shakhtar Donetsk have gone into Group F. And genuinely, I would probably say that would be one of the worst draws that we could have from pot one. And that's my own opinion, because that trip to Ukraine is never easy. I'm not actually sure what Manchester United's home or away games are after the Champions League fixtures, but going to Ukraine during a midweek or after a midweek, you do not want to be going to Ukraine. Australia represent from Fat Kyle, as always. Where are you watching it from? Let me know in the comments below. Lots and lots of you watching. We've got someone from Bath, someone from Nepal, Ollie from England. Fantastic to have you all watching here. Who have we got down there? Real Madrid in Group H. Who would like to draw Real Madrid? Let me know in the comments below. Do you want to play Real Madrid in the Champions League group stages? Let me know, because obviously it will be a huge match. It will be the match of the whole group stage. But as you can see, Juventus have now been drawn into Group D as well. This is all pot one. Pot one is now out. So we are going into pot two. Manchester United cannot be drawn into Group C, but we can draw everybody else. Who would be your ideal draw, and who would be your nightmare draw for Manchester United? Let me know in the comments below. People watching from Trinidad, from Myanmar, from Qatar, from Nigeria. There's so many of you watching. Morocco too. Fantastic. But who do I really want? As I said, my ideal draw from this would be Juventus. I would like to see Manchester United play a top elite level team in the group stages, because I feel it would get Manchester United prepared for what is coming in the knockout rounds, which is clearly tough teams, tough football. And Man United are back into the Champions League after winning the Europa League last year. Everyone was saying, are Manchester United going to get back into the Champions League next year? We didn't get into the top four, but it didn't matter, because we got there by winning the Europa League. And give me the choice, I would much rather get to the Champions League by winning the Europa League than just finishing in the top four. That's my own personal choice. You may disagree. But as I said, Juventus, they've got a strong team. Juventus have lost a lot of players, but Juventus have bought extremely well. And they've got one of the best squads in Europe. Barcelona have lost Neymar to PSG now. So PSG have got a much stronger. They might be signing Fabinho as well, and potentially Mbappe, but if he does go, I think Mbappe is going to go on a season-long loan and actually go back. We've got Sergio Ramos actually talking now on UEFA. He is a shithouse, isn't he? But he's a very good centre-back. The sort that Luis Suarez type player. You only really support him when he's in your team. He's a bit of a dickhead, but if he's your dickhead, he's a great player. He is obviously Real Madrid right now, back-to-back Champions League winners. No one has ever done that before. Will anybody ever do it again? I'm not sure. But Real Madrid, for me, are clearly the team to avoid. Monaco, as dangerous as they were last year, they got to the semi-final stage. That was fantastic for them, but they've lost so many of their players. Monaco aren't going to be the threat they were last year. Shakhtar Donetsk, as I said, it's a tough trip to Ukraine. And the same goes for Spartak Moscow. Juventus for me is the best draw alongside Benfica. I would like one of those two teams. I would like to avoid Real Madrid, Shakhtar and Spartak. That's my own opinion. Let's read a few more of your comments. Singapore, someone watching from Singapore, how you doing? Someone watching from Slovenia. I've just been there. Very nice place. Spent 5 days in Lake Bled. Lovely country. Someone from Cambodia as well. Please let us get a good draw, says Razorblade. Let me know in the comments now, because Man United are in pot 2 and pot 2 is about to be drawn. As I said, the only one that we can't go in there is Group C because we cannot play Chelsea. But what group do you want Manchester United to go in? Here are the 8 teams. We've got Barcelona, Athletico Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, Sevilla, Manchester City, FC Porto and Manchester United. It is a pot which is filled with world-class calibre. There is not one weak team out of those 8. And here we go with the first one. It's probably going to come up there earlier than it is going to come up in here. So I don't really know where to look. But let's find out who comes out first. Is it going to be Manchester United? Francesco Totti's got the ball in his hand. He's opened it first time. Well done, Totti. It is Porto. Porto come up next. So Porto cannot be drawn into Group A because that's Benfica, who also, of course, is a Portuguese team. So what group is Porto going to go into? Manchester United, obviously Mourinho's got great history at Porto. Won the Champions League with them. I remember that goal at Old Trafford when he went running down the sidelines. That was painful. Pretty sure it was offside as well, but not that I'm bitter or anything. Let's see what happens now. What group is Porto going to go into? It is not going to be pot A. It is pot G, I think. So is that Monaco and Porto? Is that the first group? Well, not group. First 2 teams to go there. It absolutely is. It is Monaco and it is Porto. Not really sure what to make of that. Not really interested, I suppose. But Manchester United now cannot draw AS Monaco. We cannot go into Group G. Second team out of the hat is Atletico Madrid. So let's see what goes on here. Why is this not updating now? Let's try and update this. This is a bit annoying. But the next team that has been drawn is Atletico Madrid. So they cannot be drawn against Real Madrid. So they can't go into pot H. Let's try and reload this because it's not seeming to be loading. Oh, it is. They're just deciding not to update it. Very nice, UEFA. Excellent job. Let's have a look here. Lots and lots of comments coming through here. Someone watching from Albania. Where can you watch the draw, says Christian. The draw itself, the live draw is on UEFA.com, so you can go on there to watch the live draw. This, as you can see, is a live reaction to the draw from Manchester United's perspective. Let's see how we get on here. Porto finally gone into Group G. Thank you very much, UEFA.com, for your updating your website. Manchester United, we've now been drawn. Right, okay. We've been drawn. So who we got? Juventus, Benfica. Ooh. We can go into Group A, B or D. We can only get Bayern Munich, Juventus or Benfica. Now I said 2 out of 3 of those were actually ones that I wanted to get. So it could be an ideal draw for me, from my perspective, but it could be Bayern Munich. It's not. It looks like it's Benfica. We've been drawn with Benfica. Now, Jose Mourinho will love that because obviously he was Porto's manager. So Benfica will hate Jose Mourinho coming back as Manchester United manager. But out of all of these draws there, Man United have got a very, very nice draw in Benfica. We've managed to avoid Bayern Munich. We've managed to avoid Juventus. We've managed to avoid Real Madrid. Manchester United have been drawn with Benfica in Group A. Let me know your comments about that in the comment box below and I'll read as many as I can. Let's go back to the draw. Who have we got coming up here? Paris Saint-Germain have been drawn with Bayern Munich. That is a very tasty group. group stage game. Neymar going up against Lewandowski. I suppose if you want to call it that game. But PSG are clearly on the march this year after signing Neymar. They are clearly have got the money, they've got the intent, and they want to go big. But Manchester United, I'm buzzing about that. Or am I? You know, I've just said that I wanted to get a big team to play against a big team. And now we've got Benfica. But Benfica are the champions of Portugal. Manchester City are coming up next. Who do we want Manchester City to let? Can they get Real Madrid? Let's have a look. They're either going to get Shakhtar, Spartak, or Real Madrid. Come on, Pep Guardiola, you bald bastard. Get Real Madrid. Come on. 1 in 3 chance. Where are the football gods? Give Manchester City Real Madrid. That would be great, obviously, because he was manager of Barcelona, so they all hate Pep Guardiola. Anyway, come on, Shevchenko. Choose Group H. Do us all a favour. Please. Let's come on. This is intense. F. Shakhtar Donetsk. Well, to be fair, it's still a tough trip to Ukraine. As I said, there's no easy game for Manchester City there. It might not be Real Madrid, the current holders of the Champions League, but a trip to Ukraine is not easy. And Pep Guardiola's men will talk about that. Let's read a few of your comments coming out here. Bayern has James Rodriguez, says 08 Pritik. Very good point there. Not really sure what he's going to do in that game. Arsenal are shit, says Tracy Lane. Arsenal are also in the Europa League draw. Good luck trying to win the Europa League next year, Wenger. I don't think you're going to get very far. Ball bastard. Absolutely he is. Make your mind up, you douche. 1 minute you want a class team, now you're buzzing about a shit team. Defo from Manchester, says Michael Rogers. As I said, I've just confused myself there. You've got to be happy that the fact that you've drawn Benfica, but as a fan, romantically, I would have wanted to see Manchester United draw a tough team in the group stage. Of course I'm happy that we've drawn Benfica. Think about it. But I would have been equally as happy had we got Bayern Munich or Juventus. Juventus was the team I wanted, but I didn't get Juventus. I'm really not going to be too upset about that or from your comment. Now, let's see who's coming up next in the draw. Totti has drawn out Barcelona. So Barcelona obviously can't be drawn against Real Madrid. Are they going to be drawn in Group D with Juventus? This still hasn't updated with Manchester City. This is really bad. UEFA, you need to update your website. Oh, shit. Juventus have been drawn with Barcelona. Wow. That is a glamour tie. A real glamour tie in that. That was a final, wasn't it? A couple of years ago. Neymar scored the winner, I think. I think it was in Germany. Juventus lost that. Paul Pogba lost that. But Paul Pogba now is going back into the Champions League with Manchester United. Fingers crossed he can win that competition. Let's read a few more of your comments out. You guys are happy with Benfica, but you'll see, says Andre Rodriguez. Let me know, Andre, in the comments. Who should we fear from Benfica? Who is your best player at the moment? Should we fear Benfica? Are you that good a team right now that you are going to cause us problems? But as I said, from that, you're looking at Mourinho and his history with Porto and Benfica. That is where the romanticism and the glamour is in that tie. Absolutely. Right, I think we've gone to a little break now. I see Luka Modric holding up the Champions League. You got midfielder of the season. To be fair, Modric is an absolutely mint midfielder. But next year, we might well be seeing Paul Pogba walking on the stage and getting this trophy off of him. Who's Chelsea got? I'm not sure. I don't think the Chelsea draw has actually happened yet. Oh, actually has, sorry. Chelsea got Atletico Madrid. Diego Costa. Oh, come on. That is a fix. It's not a fix, but it's absolutely brilliant. That means Diego Costa is either going to have to play against Real Madrid, sorry, not Real Madrid, against Atletico Madrid as a Chelsea player or against Chelsea as an Atletico player. Maybe he won't play at all. Maybe he'll still be in Brazil or wherever he is, just chilling and not playing for Chelsea. But that is a fantastic draw from a neutral perspective, wanting to see some entertainment in the group stages. You should fear, so this is Andre Rodriguez talking about Benfica. Thank you very much for your comments, Andre. Says you should fear Seferovic, I can't even say his name, Seferovic and Jonas. And Jonas is obviously your attacker. From Manchester United's perspective, we already know what Manchester United danger points are right now. Man United are firing. We've got Romelu Lukaku with 3 goals in his first 2 appearances. We've got Paul Pogba, who's looking like a master in midfield at the moment. You've got Henrik Mkhitaryan with 4 assists. Man United looking great right now. And if you are enjoying the stream, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. Nearly 4,000 of you watching. Fantastic to have you all tuning in. But make sure you go down there, hit that subscribe button and join in and leave your comments. Who do you want to get from the next pot? Here we go. Pot 3, we've got Napoli, Tottenham Hotspur, Basel, Olympiacos, Anderlecht, Liverpool, AS Roma and Besiktas. They are in pot 3. Let's find out who Manchester United are going to get from pot 3. Because if you're looking at who the toughest draw there, I think the toughest draw is obvious. The toughest draw is Napoli. And I'm going to do a quick pause here to say, Craig, Mr. Cameraman, can you please pass me a laptop charger, because I haven't plugged my laptop in and it's going to run out of battery soon. This is what happens when you go live and you forget certain things. I've forgotten a charger, but we've still got 17%, so we're okay for a couple of minutes. But let's get back to the stream. Right, for some reason, UEFA's website is not actually working. I'm not sure whether that's my internet. No, it isn't my internet. Updates from the Champions League draw. Here we go. Let's look at the BBC website instead of the UEFA website. Clearly it's working a little bit better. I'm not sure if UEFA's website has actually crashed or not. But Man City to face Shakhtar. Sevilla playing Spartak Moscow. Borussia Dortmund in Real Madrid. That'll be a lovely tie. Zion Smut saying, I can't subscribe to a Man U fan because I'm a Liverpool. Come on, mate. Come on. Give me a sympathy sub. Sympathy subscribe. You might see better content on here. Spurs are shit, says Crazy169. I think Spurs will really struggle with the Champions League this year, if I'm honest. They're always going to struggle because of what's going on at Wembley, but Spurs, they've only signed Davinson Sanchez. I think they've signed a backup goalkeeper as well. But Spurs have got a really tough task coming up this season with no more signings and they're in the Champions League. They were fantastic. Their starting 11 arguably still was the best starting 11 in the Premier League. But their squad is just not big enough to cope with everything that they're going to have to do in the Champions League. Look, Santa has passed me. Oh no, he hasn't, because this isn't long enough. There's a plug down here. This is absolutely horrendously badly organised. I've got a charger. 1 second, people. Let me plug this in. And then we'll get back to it. 1 second. We call this raw and authentic when it comes to live streaming. There we go. We're in, we're on. It's like nothing ever happened. You didn't see anything. Nothing ever happened, right? Let's get back to the live draw. For goodness sake, UEFA, your website is absolutely terrible. Is anyone else having problems with UEFA's website? Let me know in the comments below what we got here. Pot 3, come on. Give me some live streaming. As I said, I think Napoli is probably the hardest draw that Manchester United can get from that pot 3. Napoli's never, ever an easy away day. But Man United have got Benfica in the first out of pot 1. So if we get Napoli out of pot 3, can we really complain? We've got Basel in pot 3. Oh, it seems you guys are clearly faster than I am. Have we actually got Basel? Yet the site is down, says everybody else. So it's not just me. We've faced Basel already. Jesus Christ, what is going on with the updates on here? It is slow, but we've got Basel. I've got bad memories of Basel, because that's when, what's his face, Strela fell on Vidic's leg and ruined his leg for the year, and then Vidic was never the same player before. And I think that's when we got knocked out in the group stages by Basel, actually. Come on, UEFA, sort your website out. Hello. I think we might be working. I'm not going to count my chickens, though. Doesn't seem like we're working. So basically, I am gonna, UEFA website update. The UEFA website crashed because Manchester United fans invaded it. I absolutely agree with that. But it looks like Basel. I don't even know if this is actually confirmed yet, so I don't actually want to say it. Yeah, it's Basel. It's confirmed. Anderlecht have been drawn in Group B with Bayern and PSG. Anderlecht have got a bit of a short straw there. Unlucky lads. Let me know what you think about that. Are you happy that Manchester United have got Basel? So Man United in the UEFA Champions League group stage so far have got Benfica and Basel. We've managed to avoid Bayern Munich and Juventus from pot 1. We've managed to avoid Napoli and Roma from pot 3. I think Man United are getting a nice draw so far. And the comments here are saying that Spurs Has Spurs gone into Real Madrid's group? It seems like I'm reacting to you commenting about the draw. I don't know what's going on with the UEFA website, but for some reason, their website has crashed. You might want to get a new website, UEFA. Come on. Hello, I think we might be working now. Group H, is that Spurs? Oh, Spurs have got Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. Flav is upstairs. He's a Spurs fan. I'm sure he's going to be delighted for that. To be fair, he got a couple of good away days there. Borussia Dortmund, I think he went last year, but that's when they got absolutely tonked when they put out their second team. Maybe they'll change it for a Champions League group stage game, though. That is a tough, tough draw for Spurs. Unlucky with that, lads. Right, let's see if we can get this updated now. I know this should be updating, but for some reason, UEFA just doesn't want to work for me today. Oh, look. Finally, you've got Sevilla going in with Spartak Moscow. This is just not, the UEFA website is just not working for me. Let me try the BBC. It seems the BBC. Liverpool have got Spartak and Sevilla. Well, I think Jurgen Klopp will probably be happy with that. I think Liverpool fans will probably be happy with that. For some reason, if there are any Liverpool fans watching, are you happy with that? Spartak Moscow, as I said, it's a tough trip going to Moscow and back during the week. But you've avoided some big teams there. You definitely have avoided. And Sevilla, they have got pedigree. Liverpool played them in the Europa League final when they lost, not last year, the year before last year, because obviously we won it. Jurgen Klopp, very, very good at losing finals. He's lost the Champions League final with Borussia Dortmund. He's lost the League Cup final with Liverpool. He's lost the Europa League Cup final with Liverpool. Has he lost the FA Cup final as well? I don't think he has. Very good at losing finals. You're not going to get to the final of the Champions League, though, just to let you know. Let's read a few more of your comments. Spurs and Wembley at Europe is hilarious, says Ian Ford. They are not having a good time of it at the moment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, guys and girls. It's fantastic to have you all watching. I'm enjoying myself, even if the UEFA website is about 3 years behind where the actual draw is. But that's what happens when you try and do things live. He's pulled out AS Roma now, Francesco Totti. Thank you, Jonathan Drejko of BBC. You're giving me the updates for my live stream here. I did have to bring that up. I'm not going to apologise. That's a United channel. I'm not going to apologise about taking the piss out of Liverpool. But Liverpool, imagine. Yeah, I mean, it was big when Manchester United drew Liverpool in the Europa League. I can't imagine what it would be like if we drew them in the Champions League. When we played Arsenal in the semi-final, that was huge. But that was at the time when, for some reason, Chelsea always seemed to be drawing Liverpool and we always seemed to be drawing against Arsenal. If we played Liverpool in the Champions League, that would be one hell of a game. One hell of a game. Right, no updates there. Come on, UEFA. Oh, UEFA are doing another one of their fucking stupid videos. Anyway, back to your comments, because there's so many coming through. Who do I think will win the competition, says Carl Webber. Let me know what you think. Comment now with who you think is going to win the Champions League this year. For me, can you look past Real Madrid? They haven't weakened this summer. They've kept Ronaldo. That doesn't look like they're going to get. Doesn't look like they're going to get Kylian Mbappe. But Real Madrid, for me, can they do it 3 times in a row though? That's the only thing. But it's like when you go into a roulette table and you get 17 2 times in a row. It doesn't change the odds of getting 17 a third time. So maybe they will get it 3 times in a row. Nobody's done it 2 times in a row until they did it. Now somebody's done it 3 times in a row, maybe, if they've won it. Lots of comments coming in. Bayern Munich, PSG, Celtic to win. I'm not sure that's going to happen, Jake. Maybe we'll get Celtic in pot 4. Spurs will win. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. What does that button do there? Not sure. Anybody, if you want to send in a super chat, send in a super chat and I'll obviously read out your comment. Easy win for Liverpool, says Oli Boniface. Sorry, mate. It's not going to happen. United People's TV will win the entire competition. Yes, Caleb. That's the best comment so far. I like that. Am I going to get sweat patches? No, I'm good. There we go. Should have checked that first. Preston North End will win it. Maybe not, seeing as they're not in it. This is exhausting, isn't it? We're only halfway through the bloody draw. What have we got? City to face Napoli. That is not an easy draw for Manchester City. Napoli, who finished 3rd in Serie A last season, have been stuck in Group F with Shakhtar Donetsk and Manchester City. Olympiacos have been drawn with Juventus and Barcelona. Manchester City, that is not an easy group at all. It really, really isn't. A tough trip away to Napoli, where the fans are absolutely mad. The atmosphere there is always electric. And then you've got a trip to Ukraine to face Shakhtar Donetsk as well. United City final, says Jonathan Terrett. Again, imagine. You're already nervous enough for derby games anyway, let alone for a Champions League final. That would just be, would it be phenomenal? I think I'd probably shit myself with the nerves, but you'd enjoy it as a fan, I think, if you won it anyway. United face Napoli. No, they don't. Manchester City face Napoli. United fan saying he's disappointed with the draw. Let me know. Are you disappointed with the draw so far? Manchester United have been drawn against Benfica and Basel in Group A. Liverpool, they've been drawn against Sevilla and Spartak Moscow. Chelsea have got Atletico at the moment. Oh look, all the groups come through here. I'll read all the groups out because for some reason, this is so not up to date. We've got Benfica, Manchester United and Basel in Group A. We've got Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain and Anderlecht in Group B. We've got Chelsea, Atletico Madrid and Roma in Group C. That is a tough group for Chelsea. Group D, you've got Juventus, Barcelona and Olympiacos. Unlucky Olympiacos. Spartak, Moscow, Sevilla and Liverpool in Group E. Shakhtar Donetsk, Manchester City and Napoli in Group F. Monaco, Porto and Besiktas in Group G. And Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund and Tottenham Hotspur in Group H. Spurs fans, if you're watching Spurs fans, let me know. Are you happy with that? Would you rather draw the big teams because only two can go through? A big team's going to have to go out of there. Is it going to be Spurs? Is it going to be Dortmund? Is it going to be Real Madrid? I do not think it's going to be Real Madrid. So Spurs are certainly up against it if they want to qualify. But here comes pot 4. These are the teams in pot 4. Manchester United can obviously only draw one. Celtic, Cska Moscow, Karabag from Azerbaijan. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. I'm going to call them Karabag because it's much more fun. Sporting Lisbon, Apoel Nicosia, Feyenoord, Maribor and Leipzig. Looking at these games, I would say the toughest draw there, Moscow or Leipzig. That would be my two. I'd say Celtic, yeah, you're going to have a tough game when you're playing away. But it's Celtic. You know, they conceded 4 against Astana. I think I'll be pretty happy with playing Celtic. It would be a good game, actually. To be fair, why not? Yeah, I wouldn't mind Celtic. Let's hope for Celtic. Let me know who you want to draw out of those teams. In fact, let me get this up on the main screen for you. Let's have a look here. Thank you, UEFA. You are crap. I'm going to go for BBC instead. Champions League pot 4. There you go. You can see that now. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, a little bit too far. Oh, a little bit less. This live stuff really is working out very well for me today, isn't it? So who we got here? Group G. Leipzig have been drawn with Monaco, Porto and Besiktas. That's quite a nice little group. It kind of looks like a hipster group. You got Monaco in there. You got Leipzig in there. Throw in a bit of Porto and Besiktas. Why not, eh? Why not? Who's going to be up next? Let's have a look. Group E. Who's Group E? I don't know what I've already just said. No, Shakhtar. So Feyenoord have gone into Manchester City's group. So Feyenoord, I've got bad memories of Feyenoord. Is it PSV? I can't remember. Feyenoord we lost in the Europa League stage last year. PSV we lost in the Champions League stage a year before. So our recent record against Dutch teams in that area is not very good. But luckily we're not playing Feyenoord. That is for, who is it? Manchester City got that? Who have we got there? So Chelsea have got Karabag. It's going to be Chelsea, Karabag, Atletico Madrid and Roma in Group C. Who have we got here? Let's have a look. Come on, update. This really is bad from UEFA. Their website is so slow. They haven't even bothered updating the groups. UEFA, sack who's ever doing these groups because you've ruined my stream. And it was perfect apart from that. It actually wasn't. So Juventus, Barcelona, Olympiacos and Sporting Lisbon into Group D. We obviously couldn't be drawn against Sporting Lisbon because we're playing Benfica. You can't have two from the same country in the same group. So let's find out who is left. We've got Celtic left. We've got Cska in Moscow, Apoel Nicosia, Maribor. 4 left. Who is going to be next? Celtic can be drawn against us. Is it going to be Celtic? Let's have a look. I wouldn't mind Celtic. Anyway, I wouldn't mind Celtic. Come on, baby. Oh, so painfully slow. Just take the ball out the jar, Totti. Oh, it's Shevchenko. Sorry. No offence, Totti. Right, he's opening the ball. And who is it going to be? It is going to be Group B, not Manchester United. So, Celtic have been drawn with Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Anderlecht and Celtic. Kieran upstairs, enjoy the group stage of the Champions League, my friend. You're not going to see the knockouts this year. Who else have we got? We've only got 3 teams left now. I'm guessing we might get Maribor. Who's this? This is Cska Moscow. This is actually the team I didn't want to face in this group. It looks like we might have got Cska, judging from the comments coming through now. Let's have a look. Come on, load for me. Oh, is that it there? I think it's just happened. No? What's Totti doing? Totti's getting another one out. Right, by the looks of it, it's Cska Moscow. Manchester United going back to Moscow. I did not want a trip to Russia, but that is Manchester United's group confirmed for the Champions League. Let's get this on the big screen whenever it fancies loading, which is not anytime soon. Good God, this is annoying. But Manchester United have been drawn in Group A with Benfica, with Basel and with Cska Moscow. What do you think about that as a draw? Let me know in the comments below. Are you happy with that as a draw for Manchester United? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you drop a like on that video. Leave your comments in there. Valentino saying it's an easy group. United People's TV will win the entire competition, says Caleb. He really wants me to read that comment out. I've done it twice now. CSKA are shit and Russia is too cold. Russia is cold. CSKA are not the toughest team, but out of that group 4, I would say it was probably the one that Manchester United wanted to avoid. So what we do here, come on. This is so bad. Why won't you load for me? For me, looking at that, Man United, we could have had a much harder group than the group we've got. Benfica instead of Juventus or Bayern Munich. Basel instead of Napoli or Roma. I think Group D, I think Pot 4, I think that is where Man United got the toughest draw. Out of all those teams, I would say CSKA Moscow probably would have been the hardest. But Man United have got a very, very favourable draw. It's not an easy draw because there's no easy draws in the Champions League. When you're playing teams like that, they're in that competition for a reason. But Man United have certainly got a favourable draw. Let's read a few of your comments out now. Basel again, says Sid. I know, I don't really want to go to Basel. Bad memories, as I said, of Vidic's injury and getting knocked out at the group stages. But fingers crossed it's going to come better. Chris Nightingale, how you doing, buddy? Saying it's not the toughest group on the surface, but if you look deeper, there are a couple of tricky games. I think there are a couple of tricky games if you want to find tricky games. I think Benfica should be something that Man United can do and do comfortably. The CSKA Moscow game away clearly is going to be an issue. But thankfully, we've got the Wednesday and the Sunday rotation now instead of the Thursday. No, is it Wednesday and Saturday instead of Thursday and Sunday? Which is obviously when we're back. When the Europa League, our games are always played on Sunday. If we're in the Champions League, we should stick to the Wednesday and Saturday. Hopefully that'll be better. CSK are going to be like Rostov, says Ali Butt. Hopefully their pitch is better than Rostov because Rostov played on a badly ploughed field of sand. It was not a football pitch. I don't know how we came away from that without any injuries, but Manchester United managed to somehow. What I'm going to try and do here is get the group up for you on screen so you can see it all in its glory. Thank you very much, Manchester United. You have provided the tweets. That is what we want to see. Let me just pull this bad boy. I can't even pull this up. This is all going wrong. Right. So here is the group, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second there. Oh, God. Oh, fantastic. This is going to zoom out for you. That was painful. There we go. Manchester United are in Group A of the Champions League. We are playing against Benfica. We are playing against Basel. And we are playing against Moscow. As I said, for me, out of all the teams that we could have drawn in that Champions League, Mourinho and most Manchester United fans are going to be very, very happy with that draw. It could have been a hell of a lot tougher. We've avoided some really big teams from pot 1 and from pot 3. Nobody wanted Madrid, says Mohammed. No, we didn't. Mr. MG asking, who did Arsenal get? I'm not sure, mate. Who did? Ah, no, they're in the Europa League. Arsenal are really going to have fun with those Thursday, Sunday games and going to the arse end of nowhere to play mediocre opposition on poor pitches. If Wenger likes to complain on a good day, Wenger's going to have a lot of complaining to do about the Europa League. Now, let me know in the comments now, because Billy Strangelove has done it there. He's guessing that the final is going to be PSG against Barcelona. Who do you think is going to get into the Champions League final this year? Let me know who you think the two teams are going to be, and I'll read a few of your predictions out. Razorblade saying, honestly, it's a really good group, can't complain. I agree, mate. Spurs are fucked, says Raz. I'm going to call you Raz. Spurs have got a very bad group. Liverpool, who did Liverpool get in the end? Right, let's see who their final one. Liverpool have got... Where is it? Liverpool have got Maribor, Sevilla and Spartak Moscow. Just like Manchester United, Liverpool have got a very favourable draw. The English team which got the bum end of the deal is definitely Tottenham. Oh look, they popped up on screen. Magically, my Mr. Craig Wonderman has given me the groups on screen, which has now gone off, but it's fine, I saw them. Tottenham have got Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. It's a very, very, very tough draw for Spurs, and that's exactly what they wouldn't have wanted, because they're trying to settle in at Wembley, and that is going to make it even harder for them to settle in. Group D, I think, is the toughest, says Billy Strangelove. Group D is Juve, Barca and Olympiacos with Sporting Lisbon. I would definitely say the Group H is harder, buddy. Spurs, Dortmund and Real Madrid. City have definitely not got an easy draw. They've got Napoli, Feyenoord and Shakhtar Donetsk. But what we'll do right now, before we finish and wrap it up, let's read off the groups to you. Group A, Benfica, Manchester United, Basel and Cska Moscow. Liking it. Group C, Chelsea, Atletico Madrid, Roma and Karabag. Group E, Spartak Moscow, Sevilla, Liverpool and Maribor. Group G, Monaco, Porto, Besiktas and RB Leipzig. Group B is Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Anderlecht and Celtic. Tough draw for Celtic. Group D, Juventus, Barcelona, Olympiacos and Sporting Lisbon. Group F, Shakhtar Donetsk, Manchester City, Napoli and Feyenoord. And Group H, Real Madrid, Dortmund, Spurs and Apoel. Which do you think is the toughest group? Let me know with a quick comment below. For me, Group H, surely. You could argue Group C, Chelsea, Atletico and Roma. Woo, tasty group. But Group H, Real Madrid, Dortmund and Tottenham Hotspur, that is going to be where you're going to be getting the great group stage games. And in Manchester United's groups, I think Moscow away is clearly the hardest one. Basel away will obviously be tricky as well. But I'm confident of Manchester United getting through to the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Are you confident from that group? I think you've got to be confident. Manchester United have got a very favourable draw in comparison to who we could have got. But that is it for the Europa League. I'm still thinking about last year. For the UEFA Champions League draw right now here on the United People's TV. Thank you very much for everybody tuning in. Thank you everybody for your comments. It's fantastic to have you all watching. Fantastic to have you all commenting. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down at the bottom. Make sure you come back tomorrow. We're going to have a preview for the Leicester game coming up at the weekend. Obviously, we had a video earlier today about Zlatan Ibrahimovic re-signing for Manchester United. Lots of fun doing this, even if the live stream really tried to screw me and not work. But until next time, take it easy, everybody. Thank you all for joining in. Love your comments. Make sure you subscribe one more time, and we'll see you soon. Take it easy.